Yeah, name's Wes Johnson, coach at University of Arizona. This will be our third season, starting or continuing with our program. So we're still pretty new, but we're excited to keep this going. Yeah, I guess recap was I don't I think anyone probably expected us to win nationals, but we all thought we would, and we were confident that it was going to happen. Our team internally, we had that the mantra of why not us, why not me, why not us, and they lived it out. They said that out loud every single day to each other, and it worked. They believed in themselves, and it played out incredibly. So as a team, yeah, it was just incredible. As individuals, I think they all had things they knew they could do better at nationals, and some of them didn't have the best races. So we're looking forward to some of those athletes progressing this year and showing up into potentially our top five, that maybe a lot of people aren't expecting. So it's kind of excited to see. Unfinished business, not it's hard to say unfinished business after winning, but there is a lot of potential there with these athletes. I truly feel like several of these athletes could be, in the LA Olympics in 2028. So we have a lot. We're excited for the NCAA season, but we're also looking so much towards World Triathlon season through the whole year, and we're seeing a lot of progress there as well. So yeah, a lot of exciting things happening. They've been all over the place. They started several of them went to the Continental Championships in Colombia, had good races there. Some of them it was their first Olympic distance. With it were U23, and then we were for or second, and so both of them, our juniors were on the junior podium there. And then they went straight from there to Europe and raced in Wales, Austria, and straight after that raced in Holten, Netherlands, and or not all of them, but then some of them also raced a couple weeks later in the TZ Varos World Cup in Hungary. And so there was, amazing experiences. We want to race in Europe because we want to be exposed at the highest level and learn and not just hide in the easier races, but show up and learn from the different kinds of racing that we see in Europe, and then we had Kelly go and take top 10 in a World Cup in Hungary. So, just a lot of exciting things happening. And I think the growth from what they learned in those European Cups was so much that we're going to start seeing that translate into this NCAA season and in World Championships and into next year as well. I think the biggest difference for this season is last year we had six incoming freshmen. This year we have one. And so instead of we believe so much in this current team that instead of bringing on a bunch of new athletes, we wanted to invest in the current team that we have. Invest our resources, time, energy into this current group. And also bringing in one more from Sioux Falls. We have two athletes from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now we're adding a third. And so she already kind of feels like she's a part of the team as well because she's such good friends with so many of them. So it doesn't even feel like we're adding anyone new. Um, so, last year our mantra, team mantra was why not us? And this year I think it's just going to be something around investment. We're investing in the athletes that we already have and investing in their potential to continue that leaping that forward. So it's pretty exciting. And I think that that's very unique. It might be the one only years in the program ever that we have this opportunity to invest in the current team that we have. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think the goals kind of stay the same as just continuing growth and learning and I do believe that, if we keep that same attitude and hunger for growth and hunger for learning and hunger the top of D1 again. Yeah, so we're gonna start out in the South Dakota race in August 30th, and then we won't have the whole team there. We'll have some of the team there, and then we will take some of the team to get a full sprint distance race in Colorado at the at Grand Junction at Colorado Mesa School. But then we're really excited. I think the whole team is super stoked for is a home race on the 20th. And that's all, it's like one of if one of, if not the first on campus race with in the pool, bike run all on campus, the campus roads, all within campus. And we're not ever exiting campus. So it's really exciting and I think that's what we're really looking forward to is bringing that energy to our home city and bringing out a lot of collegiate teams and just getting that real college vibe, which and bringing the fans and bring all of it, bring all the energy. So we're really looking forward to that. And then after that, it's just several of them will go to World Championships in Australia, and then the week after that is regionals, and then 2 weeks after that is nationals. So it's gonna come quick and it's gonna go fast, but we're excited. Yeah, just one is Jenna Gilhooly, if I said that last name right, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and so she's been doing it most of her life. Her whole family is all racing this weekend at Junior Nationals. I think she has a little bit of an injury, so she may or may not be racing, but um, we're excited to bring her on. She brings a lot of maturity as such a young athlete, a lot of maturity and just experience in the sport. But also at the same time, just so much potential. It's just, what we see out of those Sioux Falls athletes, they leave Sioux Falls with just so much hunger and potential. They grow up in the sport in a very healthy way in that city and that team, and so it's cool to see. And then when they show up at university, they're ready for the next step in training and the next level and training with other athletes that are at their level. That team where they're from really sets them up really well for that. And we've seen that with Ruth and Mia, who were just freshmen this last year, and now they're all of a sudden just jumping, and going back to our last races, they were on the podium, in Colombia and Europe. So they're just and winning every single junior race. So that whole Sioux Falls contingent is quite something special. So we're excited to have Jenna on board. It is a hard question because there's so many that we had some and some like Ruth Party who broke her collarbone last year and couldn't race all the season, so she ended up redshirting. Could be one of the best. Mia continues to rise. She was in our top five last year, um, or yeah, on the nationals team, and so she did well. But I could see her just all of a sudden we've seen her progress a lot in the spring. Kelly's all of a sudden racing at the highest level in World Cups. Molly is coming together really well. She was, fifth or sixth at nationals last year, and she's just continued to progress to be one of the top Canadian athletes. And so there's just a whole crew of them that really could be really good. And then we've got some of our internationals like Margaret, who was a freshman of the year last year. She's progressing so well. Sarah from Italy had a bit of an injury in the winter, but is now coming out of it. So she's gonna just show up in NCAA season just really ready and firing. Her brother is just like he was first out of the water in the Olympics. He just was third in the Hamburg race. Like so, it's the genetics are good, and she's got a lot of fire. So she's that family knows triathlon and does triathlon very well. So it's really hard to pinpoint one athlete. And then everybody on the team just brings so much energy, so much positive culture to the team that I really can't even single out one because it's just unbelievable what they bring to the team, every single person. So just really grateful for that. And the last 2 years have built that, and now we're ready to just make that next jump with all of them. Yeah, we also just had Ellison take, two top tens in the last two weekends in Canada and the Continental Cups. So she's just rising too. So it's like every single one of them that I think of, they're they're rising, and they're doing what they need to day in, day out. So it's pretty awesome. You know, I would love to just part of it is like doing what you're doing is cool to see, like bring more awareness towards NCAA triathlon, and I'm grateful for you to be doing that. And also, yeah, just all the schools continuing to raise their game and making this more and more competitive every year, which is seems like it's happening every year, becoming more and more competitive. And then, yeah, anything we can do to keep seeing schools add the sport. But yeah, I think just keep making these races more competitive, more exciting, and hopefully bringing more of these like home type style courses like we're doing, and hopefully a lot of teams can come out to a race. But yeah, just I think bringing a lot more hype and excitement towards the season, and really helping these athletes bring their name, brand, and everything, behind who they are as people, as athletes, and really, I think see a future beyond, um, I think progressing from NCAA into, Olympics or whatever it may be, like we see a lot in like track and field and swimming. And I think triathlon could be the same way. And that's, one of my big goals is to unite with all the other teams and coaches to bring that level up, and we can all do that together if we do it right. So